everybody, and welcome to the Weekend Big Show powered by Law Dog Sports. I am Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, here with you on currently a beautiful Western Oklahoma Friday morning. Just a little overcast, breezy, not too hot or humid. Just waiting on the upcoming storm Furor as the weekend goes, and we suspect through round two of some weather in the Sooner State. Joining me, as he always does, is my partner of a long time, Jeremy Schroeder, with a wonderful OKC Comets ball cap on there, bud. Nicely played.
Thank you. It's baseball season. I had to find reasons not to watch any games again this summer. Right now, it's UFL. We're gonna try to watch that because I don't have time to watch basketball. UFL's on my days off.
Some UFL on the weekends, and also you should have a spring game to look forward to, I think, in about 2 weeks. And that I imagine you and the Lenny Rowland tailgate will be a part of that, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, always is.
Yeah. Speaking of the tailgate, I ran into Marty Wandry on Tuesday night. He came over for the Custer County Conflict Soccer Edition, and we visited for a little bit. Marty with Clinton Liquor there in Clinton, just off of 10th Street and I-40. Great friend of the program, great friend of mine. And he convinced me, there will be a Law Dog appearance at one of the OU tailgates next year. It's just beyond inexcusable.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you're moving closer to the metro, there is zero excuse.
That is very true.
You're not having to drive in from BFE.
And really, there was zero excuse because I could have probably hitched a ride with Marty. It's just
you probably could have.
Yeah. Anyway, but great to run into Marty. He was asking about you and how things were going with the with your job situation. I said he's pretty resilient. He's been. It's not the first time, so he's been there, done that. So
yeah, but never like this.
Yeah. It just keeps going on and on and on. Marty giving us the hand wave and a nice AI dunk there by Marty and the Thunder. We'll talk some Thunder Lakers here in a minute. Also Clippers and Spurs last night, the two premier games. Both, well, let's see. The Spurs were not on Amazon Prime, but I watched the Lakers Thunder on Amazon Prime, and I'll give you my opinions on that here in a little bit. Big show today. We've got some college football news. We'll talk basketball. Anything you want to talk about, just join us in the comments. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X at Law Dog Sports. Be sure and join the conversation. Dan Narva checking in from Michigan. Good Friday morning to you guys.
Morning, Dano.
Morning, Dano. Thank you for all of your support throughout the time that we've been together. And here's the thing about Dan, Jeremy, is even back when I used to do syndicated Western swing and classic country radio, Dan was there. I mean, he's just he's just a Ramsey Broadcasting brand follower.
Yeah, I know. How much you paying him?
Not enough, I'll tell you that much. Also today on the program at about 9:45, we should expect a visit from current Iowa Hawkeye and former Weatherford Eagle Tate Sage, who's coming off of an amazing Elite Eight run for Ben McCollum and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just fell short against the Illinois Illini, and Tate should be joining us at 9:45. So look forward to catching up with one of my.
We need to set some ground rules for that. No tampering to try to get him in Norman. None.
That would be on you. I've been able to follow with the Big Ten Network. I've been able to follow Iowa plenty. So I think Dan Narva might even balk at that. He probably likes having a player like that in the Big Ten. Plus Final Four this weekend. We will touch on that a little bit. Once I lose a couple of the interesting teams that I'm particularly interested in, I fall off. But it will be an interesting Final Four. Connor Carr over under on mid-range jumper getting worked into the Tate Sage interview. I'll just say this: his mid-range jumpers have been mostly dunks and putbacks. He's a three bomber for Ben McCollum that I've seen.
6'7" guy that shoots the three. It's just not fair.
Guard ball handling skills as well.
No kidding. That's wild.
And that's the context when you think about it, Jeremy. In 1987-88, I was 6'1". I think I've shrunk some. I think maybe the old vertebrae, have compressed, but I know I was 6'1", and I played power forward for the Coweta Tigers. And I had very little ball handling skills, and so just had a nice hook shot on the post or on the right block, but just and I had a good vertical, but not. I mean, when I watch these kids play now, and especially that state championship team and Weatherford, my gosh, it's stunning. Dan Narvis says lots of koozies work for me. Yeah, I have supplied Dan with some koozies. He may get another one. He may get my might just have to break down and really show Dan how much I appreciate him and give him my 2016 Academy of Western Artist Year award, because I would almost rather ship it to him than move it. I'll just say
Is this like Homer Simpson's Grammy?
Yeah. Or Kramer's Tony.
Right.
So mid-range jumper could get worked in, but it may not necessarily be tied in with the Tate Sage interview. And then Dan Narvis said back him in Rick Mahorn style. I did have a bit, I had back then, Jeremy, I had a booty.
Yeah.
I had a booty. I could block out and spring for the rebound. I was kind of the gosh, what was our conference called? Something Lakes. I can't remember now, but I was kind of the Dennis Rodman. Anyways,
man-made lakes conference.
Yeah, the Finger Lakes. So we are here with you streaming live. Join us on the conversation, and we appreciate Connor Carr, Dan Narva, and Marty Wandry checking in as well. So, anyways, there's college football stuff, and then there's the NBA. Which would you prefer to jump into first? And in all transparency, Jeremy, I posted on Facebook that we were going to talk about embarrassing musical confessions.
Embarrassing musical confessions.
Like what's a musical confession that what's something music related that like people talk about, and then you kind of like, well, I guess
Okay.
For an example, I never listened to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen until Wayne's World.
Same, because I was never a huge Queen fan.
I loved Queen as a 10 or 11-year-old. I had an album called The Game that had I loved Another One Bites the Dust, and then We Will Rock You.
Flash Gordon soundtrack, Highlander. That was pretty much my my catalog of Queen music.
But like,
wasn't that into it. It's one of those things I grew into.
Yeah, with you, it's a little embarrassing that I don't really delve. I couldn't name you I could name you about 2 or 3 Tool songs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
How dare you?
It escaped me in the 90s.
Let me guess what they are. Sober, 46 and 2.
What's the one that they used to play it all the time on the Cat? I don't want it. I just need it.
That's Stinkfist.
Okay, Stinkfist. So the one that sticks out in my mind the most would be Stinkfist.
If you want to clutch pearls, don't listen to the. If you don't want to clutch pearls, don't listen to the lyrics too closely of that song.
No, I'll probably yeah. I kind of got that. Like I said, I think I said on this broadcast one time, I remember Tool playing the fairgrounds, and I didn't work it, but some friends of mine did, and they come out like, that guy's out there in a dress. Oh gosh. Connor says Ramsey post move highlights would hit hard on YouTube. Man, yes, the footage back then would be rough, but I tell you, watching me run the break would be some classic film.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
My basketball career ended in the 7th grade, so.
Well, that's funny because my football career ended in the 9th. Dan Narva says the Lions circa 80 started 4-0, then adopted Another One Bites the Dust, then went on a losing streak.
And they bit the dust.
80 that would have been Billy Sims' time, wouldn't it?
That would have been. That was his. That would have been his 2nd year in the league. Who was?
No, he played in 79 at OU, didn't he?
Did he? Okay, he may have been a rookie in 80. I don't know. He's going to get his encyclopedia. Oh,
Dan will cue us up on that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into NBA talk as I sit down and made a point to watch the Lakers and Thunder as we are winding down the regular season in the National Basketball Association, and then it is going to be a 6-month playoff run for whoever wins this NBA title this year. But I'll say this, Jeremy, your Thunder. And I didn't get to see the Spurs, but they were without Wemby last night, and then they just dominate the Clippers on the road.
Did Kawhi not play?
Yes, he played. He had 24 points. They've got Kawhi and Ben Mathurin and not a lot else.
Okay, yeah.
So no Bradley Beal. No Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
118-99 Spurs defeat the Clippers, and then 139-96 the Thunder defeat the Lakers.
You know what? That game pissed me off, Chuck. I'm just going to say it right now because I'm going to get off. It's on Prime. I'm going to. Hopefully, it's a good fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. No,
I get home. They're up 45 when I walk through the door. I'm like,
oh yeah.
All right, so I need to turn this on.
Hey,
just going to get to see some. Oh God, what's the big white Brandon Clarkson minutes?
Oh yeah, him and you know, it was kind of nice though to see Nikola Topic get out there and get some minutes. And here's the thing: to let the announcers kind of tell those stories of those players that we don't hear. You know, if you follow the Thunder, you hear them a lot, but nationally, you don't realize what Nikola Topic has gone through. So it was kind of cool for them to get him out there and that.
The Lakers are the perfect team for the Thunder to play. And here's why. Because all you have to do is get near Luka, and you've eliminated him going the other way. Because he will complain. He will throw his hands up. He will not get back on defense. Fast breaks all day.
He got back one time. I don't know if you saw the highlight, but he missed a three, and I think it was SGA came out on him. And just kind of did a little side matador thing. And didn't get contact, didn't get the foul, and the rebound was kicked out, and SGA was on his horse. But Luka hustled back and missed out on trying to stop the layup. And
did you see Did you see 2 seconds before that when he was standing facing the official with his arms out? Like, why didn't you call that? Like, okay, every camera angle, there's no contact.
But he knows he has to put out effort at least one time so that Lakers, Glazers will stay on board.
Until he looked up and saw what the score was, faked an injury, and took the rest of the night off.
Hey, that Dallas game this weekend is going to come really fast. So
I wonder if he plays.
Well, and I posted last night because LeBron James Jr. Was in the game in the second quarter, and they were down, I think 25, something like that. And
that poor kid.
White flag, and
that
then
it was in hell every time he touched the basketball. He'd dribble it, they would just take it away from him and go the other way.
Case and Wallace, and I, we're on the air here, but I'll probably go back and try to watch a little bit of some of the talking heads. But I'm going to love to hear the Lakers apologists talk about this, because it wasn't just the fact that they didn't shoot well, it wasn't just the fact that the Thunder got on a heater. But the effort and the defense and the turnovers, and then the injury bug will be what is used because Austin Reeves went for a loose ball. I'm sure they'll blame Lou Dort somehow, some way, but he was clenching his lower back the rest of the night.
And another thing you also need to realize: this is maybe the third game all season that OKC had everyone available.
That's what I was going to get at, and glad you brought that up. That's what you get paid the big bucks for.
That's right.
I got the feeling last night that it was like, bro, we finally got the band completely back together. Let's get out and run, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was ugly. I mean, I checked my phone after the first quarter ended, and what was it, 41-22, and it was way downhill from there. 85-51 at halftime or something like that. Like,
Lou Dort came out and set the tone offensively. He was on fire from three.
You can't argue for MVP for Luka when Lou Dort completely outclassed him.
Oh yeah. I mean, if there were MVP arguments on that game last night, just hand it over to Wemby now.
No, it's between SGA and Wemby.
Yeah.
And there's nobody else even in the conversation at this point. You can't make a case for Luka anymore.
What about Joker?
No.
He's average. He will average a triple double.
He's the same guy every year.
Yeah.
I mean, SGA's doing things we haven't seen since a guy named Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
As a guard. Wemby is doing things we've never seen before.
Wow.
And whatever Jokic does, well, that's just Tuesday. I mean, it's just that's what he does.
Well, congratulations to him on officially averaging a triple double for the season. 139.96 and Thunder score 82 first half points. Lou Dort.
He can thank Russell Westbrook for making that not a thing.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Exactly. Lou Dort, 14 points. As I texted you, Dortcher Chamber was activated early. SGA 28, 7 and 7. J-Dub got in. He looked good, not just his offense, but also 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Flirting with a triple-double was he. And then Isaiah Joe off the bench, 20 points, 6 of 8 for from three-point land. And I'll say this, Jeremy, those bench players last night, the Isaiah Joes, the A.J. Mitchells, the Jared McCains, I think they were sending a message to the rest of the teams in the playoffs. Bub, you're not getting a break.
Yeah.
When these guys come in, they are going to be going full blast. And I think the Spurs have depth that can compete. I think I think it's a Spurs Thunder Western Conference Finals. I don't see another team that can stop what those two teams do.
Whoever finishes with the 2 seed is going to have an easier path to the conference finals.
And explain yourself.
You get the Lakers in round 2.
Yeah, that's very
instead of Denver.
Yeah, now you could get. Yeah, I mean, but it could be Minnesota. So, Minnesota could do their number on the Lakers again. But no, I mean, just an amazing night by the Thunder. Here's the thing: you have an 8:30 tip off in Oklahoma City Central Daylight Time. It's nice to get that game in hand for the working people.
Oh, yeah. And it was, it was full and loud. I had a buddy who's a big Lakers fan go, and, I didn't text him.
Was that Cam or Cash?
It was Ed.
Oh, Ed. Okay.
I didn't text him. I didn't bother him, because I'm a class act. It's like maybe after it hits triple, maybe after the game ends, but I didn't.
Connor Carr says Braun did send a block about 20 rows up. Not bad for an old man. Yeah, for an old man, he'd be a great 7th man somewhere.
Yeah.
Imagine him coming off your bench and playing, in that second rotation. He's not for starter worthy anymore. I don't care.
If you're the GOAT, even if you're 41, you're not the third or fourth best player on a 6 seed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and trust me, I'm not blind, and I'm not deliberate enough to say that what he's doing isn't pretty amazing. I mean, he can still go out and compete, but the video went viral of him bitching about playing in Memphis. I mean, Bub, that's the road.
Bro, you started in Cleveland. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing in Cleveland. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's and a big ass lake. That's it.
Now, unless he's wanting to, throw his ownership hat in the ring and be a part of the Grizzlies and send them to Nashville, I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I think he wants part of that Vegas franchise.
I would imagine. The Thunder get, like I said, 20 points from Isaiah Joe. It was several players in double figures. Chet didn't really get going offensively, but he didn't really have to. And Connor blazing for his boy Braun, and Memphis does suck. It's right there in that proximity of what are those states that are kind of all there in that little area?
The South.
Yeah. Tennessee, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas. I mean, that's all kind of the same little cesspool, isn't it?
I think so. Same gene pool.
All the same people divided by a river.
That's right.
Anyway,
Connor, we love you.
Yeah, I do. And so, anyway, Spurs get 22 points and 8 rebounds from De'Aaron Fox last night. Stephon Castle, 20 points and 4 rebounds. Man, I tell you, I watched the Golden State Spurs game the other night, and really, if Golden State hadn't have just kind of had spells, they were only down like 5 or 6 in the first half, and then Spurs just went on a big run. But the 3 ball was the only thing that kept the Warriors even in some sort of contention at first half. But I'll say this, the Victor Wembanyama is, like you mentioned, we have not seen this before. And it's just mind-boggling, especially for old dudes like us.
He's like when Wilt was playing when he was a young player, and there were like guys that were like 6'4" trying to guard him. That's what it looks like. He's Wilt with the jumper.
If I weren't so amazed by the things that I see from Wemby, Stephon Castle would be just standing out that much further. I mean, this kid is a physical freak. He plays hard. He presents all kinds of problems. And I'll tell you this, I thought last season when they picked up De'Aaron Fox on the trade, I was like, give that kid any sort of spotlight to shine, and we're going to see a lot from him, because he's been a problem for many years.
Well, you don't get any notoriety playing in Sacramento because it's just such a poorly run organization. Basketball purgatory. You go there, it doesn't matter if the team's good or not, you're going to lose. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Wemby was out last night with ankle management, but they didn't lose a beat. 118-99. Kawhi Leonard 24 points. Ben Mathurin 18 for the Clippers. The Spurs host Denver this Saturday or tomorrow. The Thunder host the Jazz, and then they travel to LA to take on the Lakers. That return trip, I'll just say this, home crowd. I know, different things it will be a different game in what is their arena now? BB Crypto. Yeah. It'll be a little different game, that one. I mean,
yeah, it will, but if Luke is out.
Yeah. Well, and if so that's Tuesday, I think. They play in LA. Thunder close out with the Clippers, Nuggets, and the Suns. After those, the Spurs will have the 76ers, Portland, and Dallas, and then I think their regular season finale is Denver when they host them. Spurs are on 11-game win streak. Thunder with a 2-game lead in the West, and it just it'll be a fun run down the stretch. But if this reuniting of the regular starters for the Thunder plays out, they should be doing all right.
Yeah, I think so. Either the 1 or the 2 seed. The 1's going to have a tougher road.
Yeah,
and either way, 1-2. I still think you're going to see San Antonio and Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals, just because they're head and shoulders the two best teams like in the entire league.
Well, is that basically going to be the NBA Finals, or is there a Boston?
Well, no, because they have to play a team from the East for the finals, Chuck.
That's what
that would be a better series.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It kind of, if the playoffs would start and they would just reseed, not based on conference, then yes, that would be and that maybe they should do that, because the East has been so poor.
Yeah.
Outside of, Boston popping up every once in a while and winning a title, we haven't seen a run from the East in a while, have we?
Yeah.
The Heat won a few because they had the super team. Boston's won 2 in the last 20 years.
I mean, really, just the Cleveland upset win over the Warriors. And
that was because Draymond Green was suspended.
Yeah, lost his head. All right, so it'll be fun watching it down the stretch. NBA action starting to get interesting, and granted that game was less than interesting last night, but still, if you're a Thunder fan or anti-Lakers fan, and social media was just a blast last night.
Oh yeah,
hearing all the Lakers apologists and everything talking about, and then like you said, and we mentioned Bronny James getting thrown in the second quarter. I told my wife, I said, I'm pretty certain that's just to say that he shared the court with dad against the reigning NBA champions. That's probably some video bookmark that they'll have in their long documentary.
Probably. That poor kid's going to have PTSD.
Casey Wallace was in his hip pocket all
Oh,
night
my gosh.
long. But he did end up hitting double figures, so he hit some threes. And
well, I don't think any starters played past midway through the third quarter, so the defensive intensity lessened just a touch, but not a whole lot.
But like I said, we've seen those games, Jeremy, where reserves come in and it's basically, backups versus backups. And I'll tell you, when you're in garbage time and you're throwing Wiggins and Kenny Hustle out there, you're not going to give up that big, huge lead that bad.
Well, there's a standard, and they all live up to it. That's a super deep team. Presti, it's Presti's masterpiece. If he never does anything again, he assembled this thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, this is a team. We're watching Usman Jang go out and go 34, 10, and 7 the other night for the Bucks. Couldn't get minutes on this roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was it was interesting to see. Like I said, Kenny Hustle and is it Andrew Wiggins? Which Wiggins is he?
Aaron
Wiggins. Okay, Aaron Wiggins go out there and keep the pressure on, keep the throttle. Yeah. All right, so NBA talk, just, not much else that I saw going on in the league. I think Detroit got a win last night. They still battling and trying, and they should hold on to that number 1 seed in the East, even without Cade Cunningham. They're a good team. I mean, they
are. That's a
under to overtime earlier in the week. So college football, Jeremy, a lot to get into here real quick. We'll start off with some news that I have that I caught up on. It's probably not real new news to people, but 2 things. Chandler Morris denied a 7th season by the NCAA. Now, I don't know if he'll find a Virginia judge that will, file an injunction on that, but we're still waiting the Corey Heineke situation to play out, I guess, or maybe he's just going to suit up and play. I don't know.
Corey Heineke's coming back. He's 50. That's a little old for college.
Corey. 0-9.
Okay.
Sorry. It's funny. I was telling somebody, I think in fact, it was Damon Schultz, I think, from A+ Roofing and Construction there on our logo and on the scroll. I think I was telling him my Air Force story with an open mic, and that was the game. That was the game that Corey Heineke got a scoop touchdown. So, anyways, Connor Carr hoping the NCAA denies Chad Morris from coaching in college.
Well, they're not going to do that, Connor. Sorry.
Yeah, the new Arkansas coach hitting me right where it hurts on this whole snooze button deal, and Connor taking exception with that. I mean, I'm a frequent snoozer, but I'll say this: there's not that much pressing that I have to wake up for most mornings.
Yeah, you're retired. You can afford to. You don't even have to set an alarm if you don't want to.
There's days I don't. I'll be straight. I mean, I kind of set an alarm almost out of habit. Just like, probably better get up at 7:30. See what.
Gosh. You're not getting up at the crack of dawn to get out there and feed the chickens.
No, that's up the street.
Oh, okay.
Interior Thomas has all the sights, sounds, and smells of the farm, but none of the privacy. We seriously have 2 blocks away of a Mennonite dairy farm here in town. So
yeah, the Mennonites.
Yeah, they got a lot of. It's funny when I walk my dog, they really check us out. So, and it reminds me of a meme that I found one time of a cow kind of peeking around a pole. Said
they're like Amish, but they have zippers.
Your odds of getting killed by a cow are low, but never zero.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. All right. So Chandler Morris, as I mentioned, denied a 7th season. I'll say this. One thing that these cases are going to entail, Jeremy, and I know this from government work, and you probably do as well, inconsistent policy is where you get knocked down. and you've got a kid at Miami, the linebacker that banged up Mendoza. Isn't he there for like a 9th season or something?
I think it's also his 7th. No, you're thinking of the tight end they had last the 2024 season that had his 9th year of eligibility.
Okay.
Well, you
Well,
got the kid at Montana that started at USC that has been in college for a decade.
Yeah.
But, Corey Heineke God, now you got me doing it. Owen Heineke played 15 minutes of lacrosse and then 3 years of college football and can't get an extra season.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
You're still under 25.
And, same thing with Chambliss. They didn't file the paperwork at Ferris State because, it doesn't matter in D2. But he got his appeal, so he's going to play.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of, it's just
once you get past that 6th year, I think it's like, okay, unless you have a very compelling case, like you haven't had the chance to play, which we all know Chandler Morris has had ample opportunity to play football.
We're
it's
6
over.
years past the COVID year.
It's over, bro. You've already had your COVID year.
And we played football that year.
I mean if
you want
Memphis Showboats need a quarterback.
What's the Dallas team?
Renegades.
And Stoops isn't coaching that anymore.
No, he's retired again.
That residual Mary Kay money does its job, I think.
Oh, and he's still on the dole at the university.
Yeah. What was it? Dari Noka had an interview earlier this week that I was impressed with. Who was it?
Roger Denny?
No, I'm not impressed with that guy.
I've heard him compared to Curly Howard.
Oh, okay. All right. How about Texas Tech flexing on the Big 12, balking on a Friday night game? Brett Yormark and Cody Campbell set off for a steel ring showdown here in the Big 12 football.
Hey, Big 12 needs to get their act together. Oklahoma just wanted to play Nebraska at night. We get an 11 a.m. kickoff. Now we're in the SEC. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
You got a premier program that was in the playoff last year. Don't throw them on a Friday night. Don't throw them on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Get them in as many primetime games as possible.
Oh, yeah. And, but in Texas, it's all about, you're taking away from Friday night lights.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind the weird weekday games, but if I'm a premier program, there's no way in hell I want to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be eyeballs on me on Saturday, 11 a.m. Why do I want to screw up my week because the conference wants to make money?
Sure.
I think it's also, setting up for an egg.
I think also they're coming off of I forget, is that a situation where they're coming off of a game or have a short week or something?
Well, they're going to have a short week because they'll play Saturday and then turn around and play Friday.
Yeah.
But it's all setting up for Tech to bail. They're going to bail. They're Are they an AAU school?
No.
Yeah, they're not going to the Big Ten. They may join us over in the Southeastern Conference.
It could be an ACC team. Them and SMU.
Big 12's a better conference than the ACC.
I don't know. Did it play out that way?
Let me see. Yeah, it did. Miami played for a natty.
Yeah. Wait, did you say Big 12's better than ACC? No, you threw me off there. Yeah. All right. How about Gus Malzahn, Jeff Tedford added to the college football playoff committee, and Yurachek stays on as the committee chair.
You know what? That should just be 3 geeks sitting in a room with an IBM server spitting out BCS rankings. Get rid of this damn committee.
Who was the BCS? Was it
Richard Billingsley?
Used to be down in Broken Bow
and
did all the computer stuff. Hey, ESPN has a guy at their disposal that we're familiar with, Bill Connolly. I mean, use the SP Plus, use Billingsley, use, like you said, get back to that analytical thing and rank it out.
Get the emotion out of it. Just data. Data. You can't argue with data.
Mm-hmm.
These are the data points.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't argue with that. It wasn't done based on something, completely subjective like eye test.
I think what they're afraid of is that situation where somebody has such an amazing first 2/3 of the regular season, falters down the line, has an early out, and everybody just can go back and say, "See, it's totally messed up." And I'm talking about OU and 03. You know,
Well, it should be body of work, right?
well, I mean, but we've seen with this committee that, and I think the committee members and the talking heads get a lot of support behind them. And I said this about it was the 2017 season. People wanted to act like that OU win in Columbus wasn't that all that important, if you remember right.
Anytime you win in the shoe,
It is,
it's
but
a good
people
win.
were acting like because Ohio State came back and dominated, the rest of their season, they should have been in. I remember the talk.
Oh, I remember, it was like if you
Being
want to
over
lose,
OU.
you want to lose before conference starts. Well, you got dominated on your home field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there was talk, and and there are agendas. That's what you get with.
Oh, yeah.
Connor
checking in. Malzahn is like a vampire that won't die, keeps coming back. Yeah. He's the offensive coordinator at Florida State now.
No, he bailed on that job.
Oh, he bailed on that job.
Yeah, he was he left there. When did he leave Central Florida? Was it last season?
No.
He was head coach at Central Florida.
Well, Scott Frost is back.
Okay, so Frost has been there 2 seasons. Frost replaced him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he went to. So who's the offensive coordinator? Why do I even care? Okay, never mind.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It's the current. I mean, I think he was offensive coordinator last season.
Okay.
Real quick, like Connor said, Gus Malzahn not going away. One last college football thing for you, Jeremy, and this is some audio from the awesome, amazing Curt Cignetti.
I think the great thing is I'm excited about Josh, first of all. Let's be clear about that. And he's got a body of work in terms of winning football games, passing yards, touchdowns.
Oh.
Got to clean up some of the turnovers, obviously, which Coach Dykes made light of. But, when Josh got here, he met his 2 new best friends. Great defense and a really good run game. And
Sig.
the same after that.
Cignetti. Man, when you've got a natty under your belt, it's be so refreshing to say what you want to say.
He was talking like that before he won a natty, but now it's like, it doesn't annoy as many people.
Well, Sonny Dykes,
and he's completely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's true at every level.
I mean, Mendoza wasn't the number 1 pick when he was playing at Cal, but he goes to Indiana and has a great defense and a really good run game, and all of a sudden, he's the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my other college football take, was the Dan Orlovsky comparison of, saying Mendoza hadn't played in any big games. But
listen, man, do not take anything these people say.
Oh, it's all fodder.
It's all fodder because somebody has to have an opposing viewpoint, and the guy that ran 5 yards out of his own end zone and got a safety just happened to be the one that had to fall on the grenade.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So that's the lovely state of sports talk we have right now with the debate style. Okay. Hey, Final Four coming up this weekend, and college. This to me, and I know you may see things the same, you may see things different. To me, this NCAA college basketball tournament has been one of the more entertaining that I've had in many years. Now, maybe because I've got a player that excelled in this tournament that I'm very partial to, but Final Four will be pretty amazing this weekend. I don't know that, maybe they should set up reseeding. Maybe Michigan and Arizona should be playing, semifinals against Illinois and Connecticut. I don't know, but you talk about Malzahn being a vampire. That's Dan Hurley too.
No kidding. Try to chest bump. Those are quotation fingers for those listening, and official.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you got your 2 1s playing and a 2 and
Mhm.
3 playing.
Yeah.
Why are we doing that?
Well, a 9 seed made a run to the Elite 8, and a big part of that was a kid that I'm very familiar with. And let's go ahead and bring him in now. And joining us on the A+ Roofing and Construction studio line here is Iowa Hawkeye swingman. I call him a swingman. Is Tate Sage. And Tate Sage joining us here. Tate, man, congratulations on an amazing season with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Thanks for taking some time to join us here today on the Weekend Big Show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How's it going?
Well, I'll just say this. You had an amazing game against Nebraska. You played really hard against Illinois, Clemson game, and the Florida game. You know, I told you had 2 points against the Florida Gators, but I told some people around your old neck of the woods, if you're out there on the floor in the last few seconds against that squad, your coach has a lot of confidence in you. Your game, you know, kind of, you had moments, you had spots, but you were really part of a clicking unit. Talk about, you know, what it's been like to make that Elite 8 run with your teammates.
I mean, it was pretty fun. Like you said, there's been moments and clicks. I mean, that's just part of my freshman season, though, and me being young is kind of a roller coaster. But you know, I just had to keep my head down and you know, stay the course. But no, it's absolutely been fun, and I love Coach McCollum, and I love his system, and I love the people that I'm playing with. And so, you know, I even started playing pretty well towards the end of the season in March. And so, like you said, I got to be on the court and in crunch time moments, which I mean, I'd absolutely prefer. I'd hate to be sitting on the bench and, you know, just wanting to go in because that's just who I am. But no, it was been absolutely great, and it was a fun ride.
Well, and I'll say this, Tate, I thought there were times down the stretch in conference play where it seemed like the team didn't hit on all cylinders, and I noticed your minutes were down a little bit. And I think somebody told me, a little bird told me that Coach came to you and said, "We're going to change that."
I mean, like I said, like it's up and down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of that I can share, but I mean, obviously I was a little frustrated after, you know, losing to a team like Penn State on the road. But, you know, I trusted him, and I trusted the coaching staff, and I trusted the process. And like I said, I stayed the course and tried not let it, you know, kind of go here with me. I tried to stay pretty level headed. And then, you know, eventually my number got called.
Yeah. Jeremy?
Oh, I was just, you know, thinking 6'7", 210. Shoot the three like you do. Hey, going into a second season of the Big Ten, I mean, you guys, that, and I'm sorry, man, I'm just saying, wow. So you go into that second season, and so you were recruited to Drake by your current coach, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you followed, I guess you never, did you actually enroll at Drake?
Not enrolled. I signed, but
okay, you did sign with Drake. I was kind of looking through your recruiting. You know, it's a long ways from Lindenwood to Drake to Iowa. What's that like, man?
Man, it was. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, you know, Drake was my arguably like biggest offer between that or Tulsa. I don't know if you want to consider Missouri Valley or A-10 bigger, but you know, I didn't have very many opportunities at the Division I level. I only had 3, and you know, I feel like I could have went D2 and been a great player and probably would have transferred out after 1 year. But, you know, I believed in myself and going D1. Like, I thought I could go to Drake and help the team and and compete and help them win. You know, then obviously went viral. He took the job at Iowa. And it's like, oh, crap, what's going to happen? And so then he called me and, you know, it was pretty straightforward. He goes, "You want to come?" I'm like, absolutely. So, you know, he sent the papers over and shoot. Went to Iowa, got to work in the summer and grinded out, and ended up getting a spot.
Tate, you played so much ball and at such a high level at Weatherford and in Oklahoma, and maybe folks listening from other areas don't realize the competitiveness in Class 4A for Oklahoma high school basketball. I mean, there are kids that even if they don't go D1 probably have the talent to play at the D1 level. Talk about what's your high school career, and then also I would imagine you're probably the poster boy now for rogue basketball on the summer stuff. But talk about what your background helped prepare you for this moment.
I mean, it was everything. I get a lot of that asked by the media about, why I play like that and how I play like that. And I just tell them that's who I am and where I come from, right? So, I mean, I feel like it's a big part of being a Weatherford Eagle and Coach Bull's system and how I've played my whole entire life. And so I even told the media the other day, Coach Bull saying play like underdogs. He sent me a picture of it before the Nebraska game, so I was thinking about that. And no, I mean, out of Western Oklahoma, like I feel like my biggest thing is I just want to kind of show kids that it can happen, and to believe that no matter who you are or where you're at, it can happen. And so, obviously we won a ton of games in high school, so that prepared me for college a little bit. So I've kind of proven I'm a winner, and then coming up to the next level, winning as well, was also pretty something good to see. And then obviously playing travel basketball is pretty important. I played AAU travel basketball since, I can't remember, probably 5th grade. It's important. It's important. So, I chose Rogue. I mean, I played with 3T with Wayne Anderson out of Weatherford for a little bit, and then kind of sat down and talked to my brother and my dad. We thought it was a time to go play for a bigger team on a bigger stage in front of college coaches, which was important. So, I could have played with Team Griffin, but I chose fit and I chose people. So I could have gone to Team Griffin and, played probably 10 minutes and not be able to play the role I had, but I chose Rogue and be able to play the whole 40 minutes and, kind of excel in that role. So, I mean, everything in the past has really helped me and shaped me and got me to where I am.
Yeah, now that you've had time to reflect, what's it like going from having your games called by a guy like Chuck Ramsey to playing on the floor with the absolute GOAT, Kevin Harlan, and Fran Fraschilla calling your games?
It's pretty sick. Shout out Law Dog for kind of training me up a little bit. Because, I got some media experience before I got the college experience. So I'm a little better
Android
now,
stuck in your face.
a little better now, but no, it's a blessing. I lie to you if I say I wasn't going back watching the games just so I can hear him call my name and stuff. It's something you dream about as a kid. I mean,
that is so
put
cool.
your name in the video game and let Kevin Harlan say your name and stuff. So
it
was surreal. So I've gone back and watched that stuff, and it's pretty cool too. Like I ran into those guys in the hallway, and it's weird. They'll call me up by name, and like Fran and Kevin Harlan literally walk up to me, shake my hand, tell me a great job, and you just never think like something like that would happen. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and I tell you, I was coming back, I think, from baseball or maybe soccer for Weatherford, and I was catching maybe just the early part of the first half of that Nebraska game. So I put it on Sirius XM in the car, and it's Fran Fraschilla, and I forget who the play-by-play guy was. But then I get home and turn on the TV. It's like, holy cow, he's got Kevin Harlan on TV and Fran Fraschilla on the radio. And really, they should make exceptions and have Fraschilla be able to switch over to CBS for TV from ESPN. But that's my opinion. But no, I tell you, and that's what I was going to say earlier. I kind of got distracted. Man, I tell you, the Iowa Hawkeye social media, are you dating the camera person? Is there a girl that's running the camera or something that you're involved with? Because, man, you get a lot of FaceTime on that social media.
No, like picture-wise, I have no control over that. They kind of just put whatever picture-wise. But no, our camera guy, Matt Little, he's pretty cool guy. And it was after the Washington game. Or before that, he kind of talked to us. He's like, bro, why don't you ever say anything to my camera? And I was like, well, I didn't know you wanted me to. So then he ran up on me after the game, just like this, Tate, wanted me to say something into the camera. So I kind of said the part of our song we listened to before the game that gets us ready to go. And then I've just saying that in the camera, and then he turns it into edits and stuff.
That's hilarious. I watched you on your West Coast swing. The Oregon game was on Big Ten Network. We checked that out. And then I think I saw a bit of the Washington affair. But talk about, like Jeremy was touching on, a full season in Big Ten basketball play that has a whole different look about it now. But we see the success that the Big Ten is having in the tournament, and talk about what it was like to go up against, such the competition like that.
I mean, obviously, it was that's the best conference in the nation. I mean, the best conference you could play out of anywhere in the world if you wanted to go. And so it was pretty special coming right out of high school, and let alone going to the conference and then playing and getting minutes, which was pretty cool stuff. But no, like I said, it's the best conference in the world, and all year long, we kind of got battle tested, and that's the part about the Big Ten is you'll play a game on Tuesday, and you'll turn around and play another quad one game on Friday. So, no, it's battle tested us and got us prepared for March.
Well, and also, talk of, and anytime there's a coaching vacancy at a blue blood, there's always talk about somebody who's up and coming. And I think Coach McCollum did a good job squelching that. I personally would have thought it'd be kind of cool to see you in Carolina blue. I don't know, but and then
I can think of somewhere I'd like to see him, but I'm not going to tamper.
Yeah, no tampering. Other than maybe if you need to tab up your brother to come join the black and gold. But no, it's it's one of those situations where after Coach McCollum, I think, squelches the rumors, then I see that he goes out and signs Mr. Iowa basketball in the recruiting trail.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about Coach Mack is, I've never questioned his loyalty. I mean, obviously, you guys seen all the stuff about him coming from Northwest to Drake to Iowa. I mean, bringing the same people. I mean, he has managers there that were with him at Northwest, which is pretty cool. So, when I took my visit to Drake, we kind of talked to him about some jobs he would take because that thing was kind of taken off. And so he said, I want to go to Iowa because he was born and raised in Iowa. And he's like, I want to turn that into a dynasty. So I believe he's here for a good while, and he's going to try to run this thing up a little bit. So
outstanding.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then the picture of him with Dr. Tom Davis, that was huge on social media. It really, I think, set the tone. And we talk blue bloods a lot on here. I can remember back when Iowa was a pretty tough out back in the my day. In fact, I watched BJ, who was the Bull? BJ Armstrong and Will Purdue play in the all college classic in '87. So going way back there. That was the OU run with Mookie Blaylock and Stacey King, where they broke my heart losing to Kansas in that final, and really my life's never been the same. So no,
it really hasn't.
You guys winning state cured a lot of that. So anyway, Jeremy, I tell you, we're obviously thrilled to have a big time D1 basketball player here with us, but like I said, I can remember his first start in high school against.
It wasn't that 4-2 game, was it?
No, that was part of it. That was part of the run. But what I remember most, and your dad commented this, I think, on my post about your media escalation, is no more parade inside my city.
No more of that.
That's right.
I kind of got to be PR trained a little bit now that it's blasted everywhere, but
that's right.
I'm still myself. So
talk about Bennett Sturts. I mean, what has that guy meant to Coach McCollum and then this year with the Iowa Hawkeyes?
I mean, he's Coach McCollum culture. He's Iowa culture, Northwestern culture, Drake culture at its finest. And so the culture and the vision they try to bring from every school to Iowa is Bennett Sturts, the way he carries himself, the person he is. And so he's really been helpful and a light to me in my freshman year. Ever since the first day, I mean, I was kind of asking questions, and I could always go up to Bennett, and it seemed like Bennett would always have an answer for me. So, and obviously he's a really freaking good player too, which is going to help. And then he's a great person. I mean, probably one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm serious. Great person, great Christian, and he's truly a mentor and somebody that I look up to.
Outstanding. And I looked up, I had to Google Northwest Missouri State. What is it? Maryville, Missouri, I think.
Missouri, yep.
Jeremy, did you play any of them at Washburn?
No.
Okay. That's kind of a center of the triangle between Des Moines, Omaha, and Kansas City. Seems like I remember you guys maybe in team ball or maybe your rogue days playing some big squads from around that area. Is that just kind of a hotbed for some really, I'd say, fundamental type basketball players?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but at the same time, like there's athletes everywhere, and like we talked about earlier, like there's hoopers, there's ball players everywhere in the nation. Like shoot, nobody would have guessed there'd be a kid out of Weatherford, Oklahoma, and Western Oklahoma, but there is. You know what I mean? So you can do it from anywhere, and you just gotta believe. But I think the farther north we go, it's considered more of the north or the Midwest, and so you know the athletes probably aren't as great, but you know then you got to kind of find a way to play winning basketball. And so then we go north to like Lincoln and Omaha, like you said.
Yeah.
And, but the competition is still great.
Well, and like I said on my broadcast last week when you guys were coming off of the big win against Nebraska, I remember watching you and your brother both, and then CJ and Nate as well. And we see it so much on kind of a flip side, but you guys were all so fundamentally sound. If you got an open shot within 5-6 feet, you were going to know what to do with it. Always impressed me that way. And then also just, you know, having basketball awareness. And I know your dad had a huge factor in that. Talk about David Sage, your dad, and what his upbringing, you know, meant for you and your brother.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm founded like I am. I mean, growing up my whole entire life, I was coached by my dad and Garrett Smith for a little bit. And I remember even Curtis, CJ's dad, was helping for a little bit. And so, I mean, when we talked about homegrown, we were truly homegrown. You know, we were getting taught fundamentals and stuff like that and how to play the right way. You know, my dad didn't even let me shoot a three until I think it was 6th grade. Because you know you wouldn't be strong enough, you kind of throw it from your shoulder a little bit. So
bad form.
Stuff like that just absolutely it helps, and it really shows once you kind of get older, and then you don't have to worry about the fundamentals, and you can kind of just grow your game and sharpen your stuff up. But no, it was huge, and I'm actually thankful and I'm blessed that you know I got brought up that way, and I'm definitely going to do that for my kids.
And Tate Sage visiting with us here on the Weekend Big Show. His father, David Sage, a state champion at Carnegie back in 1992. Then you won a state championship in 2025 and knocked a bunch of dust and THC off of the scoreboard there at the old big house. Threw that ball right up into the middle of the scoreboard. I'm calling the action as you guys are celebrating, and there's this dust kind of lowering down from the scoreboard. Yeah, THC and dust. But no, you know, and I think that's so impressive, and the announcers caught on it too, is that Coach McCollum, he knew you were a winner. He knew you had championship in your background, and I think that was huge also. Going forward into your sophomore season, what is it you're going to be doing and working on? And I mean, I'll just say this, to me, the weight room work kind of showed. I don't know if maybe you're out there playing with a bunch of sticks. You're still thin, but man, you look like you've got more muscle on you than I ever remember. Yeah,
I mean, for the next year, I'd say for me personally, I put my bar pretty high. I'm expecting big things out of me. You know, I'm still gonna play my ball. I'm still gonna play like Tate Sage, but I think I'm gonna take more of a schoolwork role on next year, and as well as like I want to get to where I guard the best player every single game. I did that for a little bit in high school, but defensively is, you know, if you can't guard at this level, then you're not going to play at all. And so I've grown a lot there, being able to guard the ball and just be able to guard in general. Like you said, I mean, the weight rooms helped me because majority of these people out here are grown men, you know what I mean, like 22, 21 years old. So put on a little bit of weight, you know, compared to me last year, I'm pretty buff, pretty stocky, but then you compare me to the guys I'm on the floor with and I'm still pretty thin. So no, we're going to attack the summer and, you know, try to put on some good weight and get lean and be able to hold my own a little better. Not saying that I got punked, but start doing more of the bullying and just expect big things out of myself.
Just have a burrito on you at all times.
Yeah, so much of it's just about getting those carbs in. And if anybody knows about bodybuilding, it's Jeremy. No, but you definitely took on a different appearance in your freshman season, and I know you're going to keep working. Last question: who you got this week in the Final Four?
Oh man, you know I hate to say them because they beat us, but they are the Big Ten. So I'm hoping Illinois will pull one out. So if we could get a Illinois Michigan matchup, that'd be pretty cool. Both Big Ten teams, and or I guess they're playing right now, huh? But
No,
if we get one of them in the finals, that'd be pretty cool because I mean it helps the Big Ten out. I'm pretty sure we get paid if they.
Oh,
so, I mean,
nice.
and as well, it's I don't know, it's kind of one of those things like you know, you don't like each other when you play each other, but when you're not playing each other, you root for them. So it'd be pretty cool to see if one of those teams can win one.
So does anybody at y'all's games break out with Big Ten chants or anything? You know, kind of like another conference that we know.
I mean, chance.
Yeah, Big Ten, you know, because that's
no.
the SEC version.
It didn't roll off the tongue.
No, I don't think so.
Hey,
I don't think people like publicly cheer for them, but you know, inside you're kind of rooting for that team.
We got a big time Sparty fan that is a big time follower of our program, Dan Narva up in Michigan. What was it like to go up against Tom Izzo?
You know, that was kind of a little shell shocking for me. You know, that was our first conference game in the Big Ten, and it was at Michigan State. So I mean, they kind of put it on a tee for them a little bit, and so we got smacked up there. But that was you know, that was kind of our test going into the waters. But no, they are a good squad, a great team, and you know, I absolutely respect Coach Izzo and what he's done at Michigan State. And so, you know, next year we're kind of looking forward to that one. It's kind of got one we got circled.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I can't wait to see you and you know, see maybe what kind of further recruiting your coach Ben McCollum can do. And then I know you know, we missed you this last season at Weatherford, but I was so glad to see how you were doing with the Iowa Hawkeyes, and it was just great to watch that really from the get-go, and great to have the Big Ten network. Dan Narva says Sparty never plays well at Carver, so you'll get
that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I was going to ask you, did you get to go to a football game and do the wave at the Cancer Center?
Yep, I went to every single home game.
Outstanding
cool stuff. Yeah,
that is so outstanding. I tell you, I mean, Jeremy, you know, we're OU homers here and Big 12 and SEC now, but the Big Ten has some pretty amazing traditions when you think about it.
It really does.
And that Iowa tradition that they waved to the Cancer Treatment Center, that is just totally amazing. So anyways, but man, what a great season for you. We appreciate you taking time visiting with us, Tate. And man, tell your mom and dad thanks so much for keeping me up to date on things as well. And you know, I won't go into details, but I mean, there's going to be some things going on with regards to your family and maybe some movement. So we'll pay attention to that and see what happens. But man, congratulations, and we miss you in Weatherford, and thanks so much for jumping on here with us.
Yeah, sir, appreciate it.
All right,
thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
Tate Sage, Iowa Hawkeye, with us on the show, and Dan Narva. It's a house of horrors, actually.
You were talking about traditions in the Big Ten. You know that the Iowa tradition is fantastic, but the tradition of Penn State losing every time they have a whiteout is right up there.
I saw James Franklin talking about he's going to coach with a chip on his shoulder at Virginia Tech, and Bubba, you
at Penn State,
you should have had a chip on your shoulder. I don't know what that was, but man, what an amazing run for a kid that I got to know personally, calling his games for Weatherford. And in full disclosure, now that he's off of the program, and we don't want to get him in any trouble, but his twin brother Ethan had an amazing season at Pittsburgh State, and he had a great average, and they're twins. A different style of game. Ethan's more of a glue guy, defender, and rebounder. Has a great 3-point shot, but never really made it his bread and butter like Tate did. But what an amazing run to be playing in the Big Ten and have your twin brother there with you, if that's how it works out.
So is he the same measurables as Tate?
Maybe an inch shorter. I mean, 6'7", 6'6",
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Hey. Just an amazing family, David and Debbie Sage, and then the sisters, Caitlin and Shelby, really took me in early with Weatherford sports. They really made me feel welcome in my first season in a big way. So it was quite a run too. Two state finals appearances and a state championship on their third trip, and then also state semifinals in their freshman season. And I'll tell you this, it's interesting, Jeremy, because the kids I've got to know from that team, 2 are at Southwestern State, Walker Kennedy and Nate Rehrman. Ethan's at Pittsburgh State and Tate at Iowa. But then you've got CJ Nixon, who's down there, and I'll tell you, they've got him listed at 6'4", 270. And I saw him at a game back in the wintertime, and he's got to be every bit of that. He looks so massive. And I'm wanting to see a huge season for him on the edge, providing some depth and making some plays for Miguel Chavis and the Sooner defensive line.
He'll get his opportunity with as many frontline guys as they lost this last season.
Yeah. And Dan Narva saying maybe Tom Izzo could make a run at Ethan Sage. Wouldn't that be something? Twin brothers squaring off against each other in Big Ten play.
Well, the way the game is now, he would get the brother and then tamper like hell to get get Tate up there.
Yeah, all of a sudden you'd see some Sparty Green in there. But thanks, Tate Sage, for joining us here on the program. Jeremy, I don't know, draft is coming up. We can kind of tease that net for next week, but not that much else as far as like I haven't done a lot of spring football, following. I'm sure at Stillwater it's all just Eric Morris implementing the North Texas system. It will be interesting to see, but I did see a video of Cam Coleman going up and catching a touchdown for the Texas Longhorns in their spring practice, and that's going to be a booger to have to deal with next season.
Really is.
But then also we would be remiss not to mention that earlier in the week, Sark went on a whole, whiny, naggy complaining session, about their depth last season. And
oh my God.
Yeah, it started early with him to me.
What is okay? They spend all this money and they get a wide receiver when their line sucks.
Yeah.
They really don't do anything to address the line.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine them? Can you imagine that squad going up against Indiana or Miami in the playoff last season?
They got absolutely smashed.
He showed out against Texas A&M in that final, but Michigan there in the bowl game. But I think Cignetti showed the formula. You got to win the trenches, and really, even for that matter, Jeremy, Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the heat to you, and you got to figure out how you're going to deal with it.
I mean, it doesn't matter who you got behind center. If you can't protect them, it's done. If you play great defense and you get to the quarterback and your offensive line is leaky, It doesn't matter who's behind center. You're done.
Well, and I don't know if we had a chance to talk about this, but I mean, he picked up quite the defensive analyst on this squad recently.
Who's that? Cignetti? Oh, Sark?
Yeah.
Who did he pick up?
Mark Stoops.
Oh, yeah, Mark Stoops. I forgot about that.
Mark Stoops goes to Texas as a defensive analyst and will help out Will Muschamp to figure out how to blitz every play. just zero it out, brother.
Should have just brought one of the Ryans down there and implemented the 46.
Yeah. And, because I'll tell you this much, the secondary that Texas had, not last season, but the season they lost Ohio State, that was one that you could have done that with.
Yeah. This the current iteration is not.
No.
I mean, they're good on the edge.
They've got some young players they'll build up, but man, I don't think you want to go into SEC play bringing the heat constantly.
It's just weird to me because Texas is, I mean, they have a good team, but they're not known for their depth. They seem rather thin in very key positions.
Sark says that's going to be cured this season. So
yeah, I hope so. I mean, I don't hope so. I hope they fall flat on their damn face. And
I didn't want to bust Tate's chops, but man, I really despise Brad Underwood. So if UConn defeats them, I'm okay.
I
mean, he totally shafted the Pokes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't forget that stuff.
I know you don't. You're gonna give yourself an ulcer and
I've got the ulcer.
feel you feel about him the way I feel about Lincoln Riley, and I shouldn't feel that way because I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's still a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, he's still a bastard. Well, and then who was it that I read about that made me not despise Sean Miller so bad? Maybe it was Underwood. I'm not sure. Nate Oates is pretty horrible also.
Yeah. Most of these coaches are, especially the ones that have vagabond leanings. They're just the Larry Brown school, okay, he's going to win big for a little bit and then he's just going to move on. There's not going to be program building.
Yeah. And then,
what he did, Underwood's got him in a Final Four. So,
well, yeah. Brown didn't get SMU to the Final Four. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Dan Narva says, time to yell at the clouds. The guy who ages backwards, talking about me being an old man. I
think someone just walked across your front yard. You want to yell at him?
Get out of my yard. And Dan got no love for Dusty May as well. So I tell you that Arizona-Michigan game should be pretty massive. I got a feeling Michigan's probably got them. As good as Arizona has looked, and they are really good, I think Michigan might be a little more rounded.
Yeah, I haven't watched nearly enough college basketball this year. If Iowa popped on, I would try to get on there just to, because we've got Oklahoman playing there. But I don't know anything about Michigan.
Yeah.
So
I'm still amazed by Tate saying that he's bumping into Fran and Harlan.
I know. Like, I mean, man, Harlan narrated the soundtrack of my childhood.
Oh,
when on Harlan, the Kansas City calls.
When Harlan called that cat in the end zone of the Giants game, I mean, he cemented himself.
There's no one better.
And then it was cool to have him on the Thunder blowout last night too. So, even though Van Gundy tried to entice some conversation about the free throw merchant talk.
Oh my God!
Kudos to Harlan and
did nobody learn from Doris?
What's daggone it? What's Steve Kerr or Steve Nash? Steve Nash. Kudos to Steve Nash and Harlan for not taking the bait.
Does Steve Nash talk with the Canadian accent?
He sounds
a lot of oot and a boot.
No, not so much, but I'll tell you this much. To listen, if you didn't know it was Kerr, you might for a second think that Louis Riddick was doing pro basketball. He's got kind of the same tone and delivery as Louis Riddick.
Oh.
To me.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah. And I put out a tweet earlier, maybe last week. Somebody it was the Detroit broadcast, I think, on NBC.
Uh-huh.
And they've got Austin Rivers, where they sit. They've got two color commentary, and they sit at the end of each bench and talk. And so Austin Rivers was on there, and he starts throwing out. I mean, he's just basically calling out calls. He's calling out calls, and I just thought, wow. I think I tweeted out he's the NBC Doris Burke. So
see, I didn't know he was doing that. I saw him in the airport a couple weeks ago. I'm like, why is he here?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Presti was going to sign him to a 10-day. I didn't know he retired.
Well, and somebody, the great thing about Twitter is everybody keeps receipts. Somebody reposted because he was getting flamed a bit on Twitter. Somebody reposted the announcement that the Thunder had cut him, which I think was just part of what was like a 3-way deal. Where
it was a trade. They just, they gave him his release.
And they got rid of him. Somebody said maybe that's why he called the game the way he did. So, Nepo baby getting out there and dealing with that. But no, Dan says the in-laws are coming in from Ann Arbor, and he's going to have to bite his tongue all evening, act like he's rooting for Michigan. So now, you won't have. Yeah,
rivalries for a reason.
I just think Connor said it earlier. When he said Malzahn's like a vampire, that's Dan Hurley. Until Connecticut is not crowned champion, I'm gonna bank on them.
Dan, just wear your Michigan State hoodie, and every time Michigan, if Michigan starts losing, just deadpan what a shame it is and how bad you feel for them. And
I was rooting for the conference.
I was rooting for the conference, guys. I'm sorry.
What do you got going this weekend?
Oh, man, just try to get some rest. It's been a long week.
Yeah. I figured it had, and
got the grand dog over here today, so go chase that thing around.
Is the travel was never affected too bad at Oklahoma City, was it?
Not in Oklahoma City. We've got a resilient bunch, so we didn't have the our people were so good at coming to work. They sent a bunch of them down to Houston to supplement their workforce. So now we've artificially created a shortage at our airport.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, they got rid of Christy Nome, so that should help you guys.
That husband of hers, oh my goodness.
Woo!
What?
Did you see the South Park roasting of her?
No.
They had a lot of sport with Christy Nome.
There's a lot to work with there.
A latte. Dan Narvin never liked UConn, but respect them. Well, they're the newest blue blood, promise you.
The old Jim oh my gosh, what was their old coach's name?
Jim Calhoun.
Oh, yeah, he built that program from nothing.
He brought them up to blue.
What a coach.
Status.
He was so good that Kevin Ollie won a national championship with his roster.
Ain't that something? Exactly. And
then got fired.
I'll tell you something else. I can remember back in following the old Big East days, UConn was just an afterthought from Syracuse, Georgetown, St. John's. They were just kind of a throwaway game. And
what a coach.
Calhoun changed that whole thing, and then Dan Narva said he's starting to like Hurley. I can take Hurley. He's a lot.
He's kind of a jackass.
He can be a lot, but man, so much better coach than his brother. Of course, maybe Arizona State's a hard place to win. I don't know, but
it could be. They're too busy partying.
Well, I am going to continue packing boxes, and I'm sure Connard is looking at the background behind me and thinking how sad it is without the Wayman picture and the big flag. So we're in the process of continuing to pack and trying to narrow down a moving company, and just I would let you shoot me in the shoulder next time before I would move again.
Speaking of Waymans and shoulders and moving,
yeah.
Hey, you younger guys, I'm looking at you, Connor Carr. If you've got friends that are over 50, do not ask them to help you move.
No.
Just don't.
We've
done our time. We've done our time. One of my coworkers, Wayman, he helped a younger coworker move, and now he's probably going to have a surgery on a rotator cuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Nope. Free Domino's ain't worth it, kids.
No. And I've had 3 labrum repairs. And that's a nightmare. And I'm telling you, just packing the boxes, I'm like, oh crap, what to do there. So it's just
you need to call Elon and get you a robot.
And it is amazing to think. And what's funny about being older is you have a little bit more disposable income because if you planned wisely or whatever, and way more than I did when I was 30.
Because you've been on this earth for hundreds of years.
Exactly. But I tell you, it's you think about the money you could save if you could physically do the things that would help to get some shit done.
Yeah, but you got to realize the downside of the cost involved in the downsides would far outweigh paying a few $100s to have someone move your stuff.
If only it were a few $100s.
Okay, well, I'm not. I don't do the cross state moves.
No, it's a pretty penny. In fact, my next venture might be a moving company.
Well, just remember, your insurance isn't going to cover that all of that MRI or the surgery. So
not in retirement, it's sure not. There's a big deductible.
Yep.
All right, he is Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. This has been the Weekend Big Show. Be sure and follow us and subscribe. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Law Dog Sports. We're also on Facebook and Twitter X at Law Dog Sports and Instagram We want to thank Tate Sage with the Iowa Hawkeyes for coming on the program and visiting with us. And congratulations to him on Iowa's Elite 8 run. And I know they're going to be gearing up for another big season next year. And we appreciate him taking time to visit with us. And we'll be back next Friday with a Weekend Big Show. We probably will have a time coming up where, let's see. So next Friday will be the 10th. I'll probably say the 17th. We'll skip a couple of shows due to the studio being in flux.
Okay.
So we will, and that'll be just in time for the spring game. So maybe I can come down and we can do a live or something from the spring game.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Jeremy, thanks for joining me.
Sure.
Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. We'll talk to y'all real soon.